Dan, from sitting on a committee, do you guys see the number of people that signed in on those sheets? And if you have 2 or 5 or 15 show up...
If somebody asked, yes.
Does that make a difference? What kind of effect does it have?
It makes a difference, but those in power choose positively to ignore it.
Would you say it gives ammo to your friends in executive session?
It does, definitely.
You can say...
Marilinda Garcia justified her vote against ITL simply because so many people came and spoke or signed up in favor of it, and she felt it at least ought to go to the floor without having to be pulled off consent.
So did she vote against ITL or she voted against consent? I mean,
She voted against ITL.
Okay.
So the consent was not an issue.
Okay. Yeah, because you could just pull it off consent. Okay.
Yeah, but
No.
I mean, especially on something like that, it's nicer if you don't have to pull it off consent.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because it's just going to be, I mean, in the end, you know it's going to be just kicking dust.
Yeah.
May I ask a question about subcommittees?
Sure.
I heard you say earlier, I believe I did, that you can testify before subcommittees?
You can attend the subcommittees, and the subcommittees can ask you to testify, and they usually will.
Okay. And is that beneficial?
Yes. Second bite at the apple. And if you, and especially since the subcommittees are less well attended, it can be a much larger voice. Admittedly, I don't usually go to subcommittees, but you can have a much larger voice, and you have fewer people to sway.
So how do you get asked to testify?
You simply show up.
The first
Remember,
time,
I mean, you might have 30 people at the public hearing on CACR 23, but you had 2 people at the subcommittee hearing. The Attorney General and Mike Skibby from the Disabilities Rights Center, both of whom testified against it, which left the lasting impression in the minds of the subcommittee. And having testified in favor of ITL in the subcommittee, for instance, Ed Moran was loath to reverse his vote in committee. You know, once you've taken a position, it's really hard to reverse it.
First time I ever went to the State House, I was accompanying Dawn Lincoln, and we were going to just, do something very easy, simple, not too formal, sitting on the subcommittee, and there was a bill at the time that would have required a kindergarten education. This is the year before last, so it wasn't the one that actually passed. And so I'm thinking, there's nothing for me to do here. I'm just going to sit, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to just walk and see what's going on and not be on the spot. Son of a gun, the chair of the subcommittee, there was, maybe half a dozen people sitting in the chairs watching. I'm just sitting there watching. Son of a gun, he goes down and asks every person who came, who are you? Where are you from? Are you representing anyone? And do you have an opinion? Obviously you have an opinion. Will you share your opinion with us? He's going to get to me. What do I say? So it's, you may almost be pushed. I could have said I have nothing to say. I don't want to do it. Don't talk to me. But it gave me a chance right then and there to say, well, I don't believe that the private sector should be crowded out. One of the reasons I love living in Concord is all the many options that we have for my pre-kindergarten age son. We have Children's Place down here. We have the Gymboree over there. We have these places we can go and we can choose, and I just love that about this community. Okay, thank you very much, and move on. But so how do you testify in the subcommittee? You just show up, and you may get asked.
They're way more informal.
Yeah. In some cases also they won't let you, they don't take testimony in subcommittee hearings. Actually, the Labor Committee, for example, almost never takes testimony in subcommittee.
When they see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are those on the website too, Dennis? When the subcommittees meet?
Yeah. If you go to generalcourt.org, you can, one of the features that has on the site that is not yet on the nhliberty.org site, I hope to do so at some point, go to generalcourt.org, log in, and you may have to create an account if you don't already have one.
Okay.
You can then click on a little thing that says enable tracking on this bill.
Right, I've done that.
When it does, it will send you an email every time there is either a committee hearing, a subcommittee, an executive session, anything, a floor vote, anything. It will send you an email. Now, it might
If
be
I
like...
set up an account with them, they'll do that?
Yes.
Okay.
And the they is us. It's out...
The they is he.
No, well, actually, yes. It's a fellow named Carl Beisel, who used to be, I think he used to be on the board of directors of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. He set this up as a service for the NHLA, and he just, lets us use it for free. So.
Oh, to go on your website as opposed to the general court?
Well, this is generalcourt.org,
Okay.
not .gov.
All right.
Generalcourt.org.
I should use that.
It's a very cool thing. That was the hope, is that more legislators would.
Well, it's way better than what the general court does.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's, a government thing.
So they're two different websites then?
Yes.
Yeah, the one thing about the state website though, if you go to a bills, that page, it's like you click on a
The
bill,
docket.
it's like all the little things about it. You can't link that. It's like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you
Yeah.
can't go there
That's
directly.
the one that has the security risk in it. But did he ever get back to you?
No, but he did contact you, didn't he?
He did contact me. I did show him this is how I would hack your website if I really wanted to, and he never got back to me.
Talking about the embedded SQL?
Yeah. Camera's not running, is it?
Yeah, that general court site is lame.
There you go.
Well, they were highly appreciative.
Really?
Yes.
Did they appreciate it?
Well, part of it is knowing what there is to fix, and they probably have to ask for permission to do so.
I think it's a great example of a well-armed populace being a polite populace, because we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least half a dozen software engineers like discussing the security hole in the state's website. Now, each one of us looking at it, they're going, I suppose we could hack it just to prove it really is a problem, but what would be the point of that?
And this little rep went down and was talking to them on one other thing. I said, "Oh, by the way, did you ever get contacted?" Because I know I had sent something to somebody. I think I sent something to their boss, and he never talked to me.
Okay.
I was talking to the real people.
It's the guy that sends you, I noticed it's the same name, the guy that
Yes,
sends
Dan.
you the, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave him all the info, so...
I talked to his subordinates,
Okay.
but I had already also sent him your contact info.
Cool.
I mean, like the day after you told me,
Okay.
and he never discussed it with his subordinates.